Hey, what's up, guys? So I want to make a quick video. I do this all the time, and I'm telling my students this is really what you need to be doing on the weekends. Is you need to be going back and looking over your trades. Well, this last week I didn't have any trades, and one thing I do like to do every once in a while is go back in time and kind of look at my old trades and see if I recognize anything that I'm doing now that I used to do then. And when I started going through it, I was like, man, I felt like this would be a really good lesson for people to kind of go over some of these trades and just throw it out there. These trades, some of them were from 4 years ago, some 3 years ago, but let's just dive in and see what we kind of look at. So, first trade, let's see, is TYME. It was a gap and crap that turned into a gap and extension. This is back in 2021. So, how I would have traded this is I've been looking for something up in here. And I would not have traded any of this stuff because what I teach my students is you want to look for a ceiling and you want to look for a floor. So my first entry is damn near the floor. This red dotted line, this is called the VWAP. It's a volume weighted average price. A lot of people care about actually, it's kind of funny, like sidetrack. Like actually today there was two stocks that actually respected the VWAP. It's been a long time since I saw anything really respect the VWAP like it did today. So that is something which is another interesting thing. The markets go through cycles, and I don't know, maybe that's gonna be something that is gonna be relevant for the next month or so. And but 9 out of 10 times I don't care about the VWAP at all. But this is way too close to the floor. The risk reward's not there. Like, what am I looking to do? I know what beginner Adam is thinking. Like, oh, this thing's up from $1.60. It's gonna pop up and it's just gonna fade down because that's what I thought small caps all did. This would have been a area that I would have possibly been looking at, but the second you start seeing this thing start curling, you get the hell out. And you don't short way down here. I'd be looking for here or here now, obviously with a lot more experience. But this thing curls. This is why you don't short weakness. That like weakness can be the support, And I got all sorts of diced up on this stock. And yeah, it's crazy. So then the next one, let's see. I don't want to go to that one. That'll be the last lesson. Kind of like tie this all together. So then this. All right. So 9:30. Let's see. Like the pre-market high level. I like that, especially when this thing is going to be opening right here. Yeah, see, I would have taken that right there, like 100%, man. I would have been risking, over here. That's the difference between a experienced trader and, a less experienced trader. My problem is, which I'll tie into on the very last picture and explain how my thought process. But I went in full size on everything. You have to calculate your risk, and you get in say here 1040, you're risking almost $1. That's you're not going to go in with huge size. Yeah, it's got a long ways it can fade down, but that's the problem is. Back then, all I thought about was how much money I could make instead of how much money I could lose. And, here, I don't even know what the hell this is, honestly. Like, that's the other thing. I can always tell this must have been a horrible day because I didn't have any, I didn't annotate anything. I didn't, write the date or anything like that. So, yeah. really, honestly, horrible trading. Really. Uh, yeah, because I mean, even if you were to draw this in, the way I look at this, that's clearly like the floor level. This is kind of like no man's land. That's what I tell my students is that this is a flip of a coin. Whether it goes up or goes down, I mean, nobody really knows. It could hold right here and curl and rip up. And why would you want to be in here when you can get in up here, have much smaller risk, and then look for the big fade? I wouldn't be trading long or short in the middle of a move. I would be looking for a long down here, depending on, patterns and stats and all that kind of stuff. But sorry, it's been a really long week. But anyways, like this just shows me nothing but FOMO. Straight up FOMO. I'm trying to make money, and the only thing I'm thinking about is money, 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 money. And yeah, it. So then this one, right? First off, so that right there is the kicker. That's where my experiences went up a lot. I rushed to work and I literally had just got back to my desk. I saw this thing popping up. Yeah, but like the crazy thing is, look at like how spotty this is. This isn't even. There's no volume here. There's nothing. I like really. And that's the other crazy thing. I'm trading with 1,200 shares. Just a disaster. Like this thing pops up. I take it short. Curls on the VWAP. Volume starts coming in. They start squeezing it up. They take me out. Then it stuffs $2. I have to jump right back in. Well, this is the other huge problem. Like I'm trading with 100 or 1,200 shares, right? So at $2, every 10 cents is $120. So I'm down like $240 in 1 minute. 1 minute. That's the biggest problem about beginner traders is if I did get in here, which I never should have because there's so much stuff wrong with this chart. There's no way in hell I would have got in here. And if I did, I should have risked at the absolute most 5 cents. Okay, I'm down $60. Yeah, that sucks. But I mean, at least I reduced my risk. That's the most important thing when you're trading stocks. Let's see this beauty. So, and just to these aren't just like random stocks. I pulled up like all my max losses, which is why all these look horrible. I could go back and pull up some amazing charts or whatever, but so I don't want you guys thinking that I just suck at trading or whatever. These are all like my ones. That way I can go back and be like, am I doing that? Am I having that habit again, or is this resurfacing? Like that way. That's why I have notes and all that kind of stuff, so I can go back and revisit this stuff. So this one, the only place I should have been really looking for is, really right in here, and this thing just ripped straight through. Why I'm shorting front side. I was explaining to my students what is front side. Hopefully, I'm going to tell them to go watch this. This is front side. This it's all making higher highs and higher lows. That's all front side. You have to make. It's got to have like a topping, and then it breaks the structure. Okay, and then what I want is after the floor is broken, I want to see this thing curl and have a lower high pop. That's the only way you trade these kind of setups. Like for me, I don't like this. This might have played out, But for me, I really don't know, if that's high enough for me. I would have been looking like closer to like probably like the 520s now. But this is another thing. I'm trading with 1,200 shares again. I can tell you right now from experience. This kid, like, okay, well, I'm trading. This is my scaling in phase when I was trying to scale. So it's probably 600 shares here, 600 shares here, and I'm in 1200 max. Yeah, I cover down here. Oh, this isn't a max loss because I made money on this trade, but uh, so yeah, I don't know. I looked up bad trades and I started popping this stuff up. So, but I'm just forcing trades. At the same time, another thing to look at is for me where I am now in my experience. This would have been the floor, right? So this trade right here, this is no man's land. It's literally in the middle of the ceiling and the floor, well, the pre-market ceiling. This ceiling got broke through, so yeah, like I guess that would have made this invalid, which would have made this the ceiling. So I guess that's not horrible, but actually, yeah, that is horrible. Actually, honestly, it made it even worse because now it's like, oh, hey, you're basically like it's like trying to squeeze every last drop out of the stock, and it's like, dude, that's gonna come back and bite you in the ass, and it does eventually, but then you got this last one, and then the lesson of this beautiful thing, which I do remind myself of a lot. So this thing is, honestly, I don't even know how to trade this. This is just complete shit. Like, there's no, you want to see in small caps, right? You want to see something that is uptrending, but is going into a level, whether it's a daily level, a pre-market level, whatever it is, that they have offerings over a certain level. Like, okay, hey, at any point they could offer all these shares, whatever. If you don't understand that, like I said, shoot me a message and I'll explain all this. But you want to make sure that it's going into a level, especially if it's a pre-market level and it's going up to the pre-market level. That means it's probably going to be a gap and crap, which means that I am betting that this thing is going to find a topping before it breaks over the pre-market high. If there is no levels, like this chart that I'm looking at right now, how do you trade that? There is no setup, and that's the biggest problem with beginner traders. Is you could ask them. I remember getting asked by 3 or 4 people, and it didn't click in my head yet. Like, what is your setup? Oh, I trade gap and crap, gap and extension. Okay, what does that mean to you? What are the levels? What does this stock have to look like? Is the float a factor? SSR a factor? Institutional ownership a factor? Do any of these things matter to you at all? If they do, what does that mean? And does it mean that you're not going to trade it? You trade with half size? The changes the levels that you're looking at? It can be a very complex thing. But when you have no idea what your setup is, you're just gambling. And I remember so many people would tell me at the very beginning of my trading career, they're like, dude, I know you're excited about trading. 1% of people make it, and it's really just kind of gambling. They weren't wrong at all. Like, when you are a brand new beginner trader, you are like 9 out of 10 times you are absolutely gambling. Once you understand that it's a game and that you are literally just going out there and playing the game, it kind of takes me back to my kickboxing. So just bear with me here. When I went out and I was a rock star, it's because I followed the game plan. My coach and I we'd have like a 10-week camp leading up to a fight, and depending on who I fought, we'd have a style of fighting. I was a very aggressive, like a pit bull kind of guy, and so I didn't have like super technical stuff, but we'd have certain things we'd work on depending on what they do. It's the same thing in small caps. It's a game. And the second you change it from being a game into something else, it ruins it completely. And all you're going to do is lose money. And people don't want to tell you that because, it makes it sound, oh, well, that doesn't sound appealing. That sounds, I'm supposed to be able to make $1 million from $500. And yeah, that's what all these dumbasses are going to tell you so that you buy their subscription. But the difference is you can really make this kind of money. And that's what I wanted to show you guys on this next thing. This is from, what was this? May of 2020, I believe. So, these are some pretty good numbers. I don't know exactly. I didn't add it all up, but I mean, I made a few $1,000s on this month. The difference is, and this is not like to try to boost my ego or anything like that. Like honestly, there's people out there that make 3 times as much money as I did this in a whole month in one day. So, but the crazy thing is, how I used to trade is I would show up to the stock market and I either made a lot of money or I hit my max loss. I made a lot of money or I hit my max loss. That's the first thing that I work on with my traders to try to get them out of that. And that's why I don't talk about money. I don't, that's why I have no problem showing this chart from years ago because, yeah, I made a lot of money years ago, but it doesn't it doesn't corrupt my community like now. And I really do truly believe that when you have people that are throwing around, oh, easy 5-figure day, or oh, hey, showing their P&L and they made $3,000, and you're over there and you're a brand new beginner and you've only made nothing, and you funded your account with literally every penny you have, and you're just literally watching your hard-earned money just disappear in front of your eyes. That is not good for anybody. It's not good for the guy that's bragging about how much money he made because all that dude is getting is a giant ego, and I've seen it so many times over the years. That dude is going to blow up 100%. He's going to get super, super cocky, start scaling, and you guys need to learn how to manage your risk. Well, eventually he's going to hit this threshold where it's like, oh, he's fine. Oh shit! The second oh shit hits and it starts going higher and higher and higher, that dude starts sweating bullets. Why? Because now his risk is way, way bigger than he ever thought was possible. Yeah, it might not happen very often, but there's a black swan every, maybe not every year, but every other year. And the problem with that is the more money you start making, the bigger your account gets, the bigger your ego gets, the bigger that hit is. And if you're not smart enough to, keep a max loss on and keep it on, not go and remove it or whatever, you're gonna have a huge, huge problem. But that's one of the biggest things in my trading career was, yeah, cool, dude. I made $600, and I come in, I'll lose $350. Then I make $240. Yeah, I made $900 or $850. Well, $850. Then $270. Oh well, that's kind of crazy. The one thing that took me a long time to realize was, oh shit, dude! You're either winning big or you're either winning big or you're losing big. The other crazy thing is, for me, one trade. So that for me means that I allowed a stock that I got in on one entry to go so far against me that I just was like, it's gonna go down, and I just let this thing just go loose. That's crazy. I can't even imagine doing that. And so how I tell my students, what you need to do is put everything into R. Nobody gives a shit about how much money you make or how what your 1R is. At the very beginning, okay, start off with $50. Trade with $50. Okay, your 1R is $50. So what that means is if you lose, instead of losing, $350, you lose $50. Okay, well, the way my system works, you have like three possibilities for entries. So at the worst, absolute worst, you should lose $150 in a day. At the same time, you could potentially make anywhere from 100, I would say around $100 to $200 a day. Okay, well, yeah, there's a lot of people, especially in these stupid ass rooms, that are like, oh, dude, 5-figure days and all this crap, dude. If you make an extra $200 a day, that's crazy. I need to post this up. I saw this. I thought this was a very good reminder to people. And I also thought it was a canvas, not like this little thing. But if you just make an extra $100 a day, that's 25 grand in a year. $500 a day, you're making $126,000 a year. It doesn't take that much. Even $20 a day, you start compounding that shit, you're making 5 grand a year. Now, can you imagine what 5 grand to a middle class family could do? Okay, well, yeah, the economy gets any worse, probably not, probably not a lot, but you could absolutely go on a family vacation, or pay off a credit card, or put a big dent in your car payment, or save put it into a high yield savings account and have an emergency fund. How many people out there that are watching this video don't have an emergency fund? Well, that's crazy. All you need is $20 a day. Like, literally, you could make $20 a day on like nothing, literally nothing, and risking nothing. So that's what I'm trying to teach in this community. And the way I go about doing it is, I believe that somebody has zero experience at all, then join the free community. Learn as much as you guys possibly can from the free community. I truly do believe, I'm not shitting you, I truly believe I can get people to making $5,000 a month. Does that mean in a month from now? No. It really depends on your work ethic, how much time you have, and how much capital you have. Because you gotta have money to make money. But at the same time, like I said, right there, you can absolutely compound that money. And people they don't understand the power of compounding. All you need is 1% better every single day, and you can absolutely change your life. And anybody that tells you otherwise, tell them to go kick rocks. Like, seriously. Like, I want to use something else, but I got to keep this appropriate. But, like, really, you can do anything you want in life. All you have to do is you have to put the right thought process and the right energy out there and just go get whatever you want. And really just say, screw it. If people want to make fun of you, how important are those people in your life, really? If you going and chasing your dream, or you believing in a certain thing, makes them, frown on you. Like, really, did you really lose a very valuable friend, or are you actually, taking steps in the right direction? So that's just my little, thrown out there. But, like, I really believe that nobody should, if you don't have money, that's another thing. You shouldn't have to pay me anything to make any money. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's why I set up my community in a way that I did. I'm going to go to my community really quick. I built my community up in a way that in the leaderboards, you can unlock 3 months of my Discord community for free. And also, I'm running a mentoring program where I work with people on a one-on-one basis. I'm also allowing people to get into that for free for 3 months, to where I can be like, hey man, let me really build this. Let me build this out for you. Like, this is what I believe that your business structure should be, because that is what trading is. You are creating a business. No matter what anybody says, you are doing a business, as long as you do it correctly. And you can do all that stuff in the free community. You don't ever have to pay any money, and really, you start busting your ass. I'm not trying to like give anything away for free, but if you've been watching for this long, if you really put in the work, I want to work with you as much as I possibly can. I'm going to help you out as much as I can, because I really do truly believe that some people just don't have the money, and just because you don't have the money, you either get to where you want to go by either putting in the money and getting there faster, or putting in hard work. It's either real equity or sweat equity. And for me, if somebody's putting in the work, I'm going to absolutely bust my ass to help you out as much as I possibly can. I don't give a shit if you don't have two dimes to rub together. That does not mean that you don't deserve to have a good life. And I really believe that I can make you have or help you have a good life. Anybody else that has actually been trading for a little while and they need a little bit more guidance, get into my Discord room. It's a subscription based, and it's gonna be low for the first 20 people that actually get into the community. I've not started advertising it yet, so like I said, if you got this far in, just hit me up, and it's never gonna be this cheap ever, ever, ever. And for those guys that are actually making money, I have some people that I'm working with that are roughly around about the $5,000-6,000 range. Those guys, I'm helping them scale their business up, and I'm doing a one-on-one program. But that's for people that are way more advanced. But this is what people should be doing on the weekends. This is what the job is and what you should be doing regardless. You can either do this by yourself or you can do it with people. Or you can get a mentor to make sure you're doing it. But regardless, everybody should be doing this stuff. But hope you guys have a good night. Hope you guys learned something. And like I said, if you guys need any help with anything, just let me know.